For today's lesson, we are going to take a look at SO 8.9, which is lessons 1 and 2 in your Module 2 book, which is Pythagorean Theorem. All right, so SO 8.9 says the student will verify the Pythagorean Theorem and apply the Pythagorean Theorem. So the learning targets for today, I can use the Pythagorean Theorem to find the length of the hypotenuse of a right triangle. I can use the Pythagorean Theorem to determine the missing side lengths of a right triangle. Some key vocabulary that we're going to focus on is Pythagorean Theorem, right triangle, leg, hypotenuse, right angle, Pythagorean triples. We're mostly going to focus on that a little bit later. Opposite, square root, square, and verify. All right, so the first thing we're going to look at is here. So we have a right triangle, and we know we can classify it as a right triangle because of its right angles. Remember, all right triangles, regardless of its position, have what's called a right angle. All right? So Pythagorean theorem is based off of right triangles. All right? So if we take a look at this first square here, so starting here, what is the area of this square? So we can see that we have 3 columns and 3 rows. So that's going to give us an area of 9 because we have what? 3 squared, which is 9. All right? Looking at the next one here, what's the area of the square? So I have 4 by 4, which is 4 squared, which equals 16. All right? And then for the last one, we have 5 by 5, which is 5 squared, which equals 25. All right? So talking about the Pythagorean theorem, we can see that the square that's on our diagonal, so I'm just going to highlight our diagonal here, we can see that that's the longer side. So our diagonal is the longest side, and that has an area of 25. We see that our smaller sides, which later on we'll learn that these are called legs, so these 2 sides here, which I'll use a different color, we'll put them in red. These are called our legs, all right? So if we look at the area of the legs, so we have one leg is 16, and the area of the other leg, which is 9, we see that if we add 16 and 9, we get 25, all right? So the Pythagorean theorem basically says, if I have my side A squared plus my side B squared, that's going to equal my side C, which is my diagonal side, all right? So if we look at the fact that this leg here, not looking at the square, but just the leg is 3. If we look here at this leg, which is 4, and this leg, which is 5, we get that 3 squared plus 4 squared equals 5 squared. 9 squared plus 16, 9 plus 16 again gives us 25, all right? So let's take a look at a few more examples. So it says, find the area of the square, all right? So if you think about it, we said that what? Our legs, so I'll draw that again. So our legs in red, whatever the length of those sides are, when we add that, when we're talking about the area of the square, we get the diagonal in blue, all right? So here for this first example, we can look here and see that we have a leg, all right? So since we have that, we know that our legs, since we're talking about squares here, we know that if we add 144 plus 25, we get 169. So the area of this square is 169 feet squared. All right, looking here, this is a bit different. So here they give us our diagonal and they give us a leg, but we're looking for the area here. So we know that if we were to add the 2 legs up, so let's say A plus B is going to equal C. In this case, we're given that C. So here we're going to have 100 minus 64, which is going to give us 36. So the area of that square is 36. So here is just kind of that proof of Pythagorean theorem, because when we get into it, we'll see that we'll not be working so much with having squares off of our triangle. So they're going to give us the length of our triangle, and we're going to have to square it based on the formula for Pythagorean theorem. All right, so let's hop right into it What is Pythagorean theorem? All right. So the Pythagorean theorem is the theorem that says any right triangles, remember this only applies to right triangles, the sum of the squares of the legs is equal to the square of the hypotenuse. So we saw that in the previous example, we had two squares. We added it together. So for example, we had the square that was 9 feet squared, the square that was 16 feet squared. When we added it together, we got 25. All right. So the legs of the right triangle are the two, so they're two legs, are the two shortest sides that form the right angle. The hypotenuse is the longest side and is across from the right the right angle. So if we look here at this diagram is very important. So with our legs, you can label either of them A or B. It does not matter, especially since we're working with addition. But our hypotenuse is always going to be the longest side or that diagonal. So this here is a very important formula when working with Pythagorean theorem, because it is the Pythagorean theorem. We have a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. So if I take the length of one of my legs and square it, add it to the length of my other leg, I will get my hypotenuse. All right? Where A and B are the legs, so again, with labeling, it doesn't matter which way you label the legs. And C is always, so the diagonal is always the hypotenuse. All right? So in this first section, we're just going to look at when we have to find the hypotenuse. So in the example, we're given the side lengths of our legs, but we're looking for that hypotenuse. All right? So when finding the hypotenuse, all right, so we're still going to be using the Pythagorean theorem, which is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. All right? But let's take a closer look at it. All right, so now we're going to plug in the numbers. So here we can see that we're looking for our hypotenuse, which is the side that is opposite the angle. We're given a side length of 3 and a side length of 4. So those represent our legs. So we have 3 squared plus 4 squared is equal to x squared. But in this situation, I'm going to put c because in our formula we use a, b, and c. Okay? So we don't know what our c squared is. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to simplify. So we know that 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16. All right, which is equal to c squared. We're going to go ahead and add 9 and 16 together, which give us 25c squared. Now we're going to take the square root of both sides. So I have 25 and I'm taking the square root of 25. So remember, we're just looking for those side lengths. So in the beginning, when we looked at Pythagorean theorem, we looked at the squares, but we're just looking for that side length. We just want to know what the length of this side is. So we know that the square root of 25 is 5c. So that means that our hypotenuse is 5. So we can test this out. So we have 3 squared plus 4 squared is equal to 5 squared. 9 plus 16 is equal to 25. 25 is equal to 25. So our side length is going to be 5 here. All right? Now I want you to pause the video and I want you to try to find the length of the hypotenuse here. So using the same steps that we used previously, we have a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. So here you are simply looking for the hypotenuse. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. So again, we're given our side lengths of 6. 8 squared equals c squared. 6 times 6 is 36. 8 times 8 is 64, which is going to equal c squared. 100 is equal to c squared. We now have to take the square root of 100. The square root of c squared, we get that 10 is equal to c. So our side length here is going to be 10. Same here for example 2. We have 7 squared plus 3 squared. And I did that to show it doesn't matter which one is going to be your A and B for your leg, but your hypotenuse will always be your hypotenuse, and we'll see in some examples. So we have 7 squared, which is 49, 3 squared, which is 9, is equal to C squared. We have 58 equal to C squared. We can definitely tell here that we are not going to have a perfect square here, because we know that 58 is not a perfect square. We're not going to have a whole number here. Take the square root. We know that the square root of C is going to be C. In some cases, they will just have you leave it that way, but if we want to put it in decimal form, it's approximately 7.62 is equal to C. All right, so now that we've looked at finding the hypotenuse, now let's look at when we need to find a missing leg. So in this case, instead of given both legs, you're given one leg and you're given the hypotenuse, but we're still using that same formula. All right, so find the missing leg. So here, looking at this triangle, we can clearly see we have our hypotenuse, we're missing a leg, and we're given a value of a leg. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and label this leg A. You could label it B. It's fine, just to follow the formula of A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So I don't know the value of A squared. I know that my B squared is going to be 12 squared because 12 is going to be my leg, and my hypotenuse is 20 squared. All right, so we're going to go ahead and simplify. So we have A squared plus 144 is equal to 200. All right, so from here we're going back to solving an equation. So we want to get A squared by itself. Oops, that's supposed to be 400, not 200. Excuse me. All right, since we want to get A squared by itself, we're going to simply solve. So now we have to subtract 144 from both sides. So we get A squared is equal to 256. We're going to take the square root of not only A squared, but we're also going to take the square root of 256. So we get that A is equal to 16. So let's test this out. So I have 16 squared plus 12 squared is equal to 20 squared. So we have 256 plus 144 is equal to 400. And when we add those together, we get 400. All right, let's practice some examples. All right, so I want you to pause the video and I want you to try this. So determine the length of the missing leg. So again, we're looking for the missing leg, and we're still going to be using A squared plus B squared equals C squared. All right, so now let's take a look at finding the missing leg. All right, so using A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So here we see we're given the hypotenuse, which is our C. We're given a leg, so since we solved for A last time, they'd say that that's B, but it doesn't matter which one. Oh, we're going to switch that around. We're going to make 5A and make this side B. So here I have A squared, which is 5 squared, plus B squared is equal to 13 squared. 5 squared is 25, plus B squared is equal to 169. We're going to subtract 25 from both sides. So as you can see, that solving equations goes absolutely nowhere. Whether it's a basic equation or a more challenging equation, it goes absolutely nowhere. So we get that B squared is equal to 144. We're going to take the square root of both sides because we just want to know what the length of B is. And we get B is equal to 12. All right, so again, we can test ourselves. 5 squared plus 12 squared is equal to 13 squared. We have 5 squared is 25, 12 squared is 144, and 13 squared is 196. Add 25 and 44, you get 196 is equal to 196. All right, same process over here. We're missing a value, so we can label that A, B, and C. So we have our A squared plus 9 squared is equal to 15 squared. A squared plus 81 is equal to 225. We're going to subtract 81 from both sides of our equation. So 225 minus 81 is going to give us 144. A squared is equal to 144. We're going to take the square root of A squared and take the square root of 144, and A is going to be equal to 12. All right, so again, we can test all the time, no matter whether you're looking for a leg, looking for a hypotenuse, we can always check our answer by plugging it back into the formula. All right, now it's time for us to practice, or you to do a little practice on your own. All right, so there are 4 questions that you are going to practice that are going to be on the next page. You're going to pause the video here, work on those 4 problems, and come back to the video and check your answers. All right, so let's take a look at the practice. All right, so it's a little mix of each of them, whether you're looking for the leg, the hypotenuse. They were mixed up a little bit. So for this example, we can see we're given the hypotenuse, we're given the leg, we're looking for a leg. So we have A squared plus 15. Oops. Let's replace that B with 15. Is equal to 25 squared. We have A squared plus 225 is equal to 625. All right, so again, we're trying to get A squared by itself, so we're going to subtract 225 from both sides, and we get that A squared is equal to 400. Take the square root of both sides because we just want to know what A is, and we get that A is 20. All right, so for this one, we can see that we are missing our hypotenuse. So we have that 3 squared plus 4 squared is equal to C squared. 9 plus 16 is equal to C squared. 25 is equal to C squared. Taking the square root of both sides because we just want to know what C is, and we get that C is 5. All right, taking a look at the last 2 examples. This one right here can be a little tricky at first, but it's still the same process. If we just outline our right triangle here, we see that our hypotenuse, that's what we're looking for. We're given a leg of 8 centimeters and a leg of 2 centimeters. So we have 2 squared plus 8 squared is equal to C squared. 4 plus 64 is equal to C squared. We get 68 is equal to C squared, and we're going to take the square root of both of those sides. So once we take the square root of 68, again, it will definitely let you know on any assessment or assignment whether it wants you to just keep it in radical form or if it wants you to simplify into decimal form. So you get 8.25 as your C. Make sure you are rounding, especially if it asks you on assessment to round, that you round properly. And for the last example, we're looking for that hypotenuse. So we have 8 squared plus 11 squared is equal to C squared. 64 plus 121 is equal to C squared. We get 185 is equal to C squared. Taking the square root of C squared, we get 13.60 is equal to C, not C squared, is just equal to C. All right, so now that we've practiced this, the next step is you're going to summarize what you've learned from today's lesson. You're going to complete your exit tickets. I don't have your book, so make sure that you pay attention on the agenda or on Google Classroom to what pages your exit tickets are on and the problem set, because I do not have a textbook right now. So if you would go ahead and summarize what you've learned from today's lesson.